Huh. I suppose it's best not to talk about Sadakawa in front of her, then. Unless she brings it up herself, then yeah. I think that's wise. At least until she has a change of heart, I think Akemi will find her own way to deal with it. You think so? Yeah, it seems like you might want to ask around about Sadakawa and Sachi's relationship. If you want, I could try asking around. See what people say. Recent information about Sadakawa might be more useful to you than information about her past. Really? Yeah, that would be really useful information to have. I appreciate your help. I guess the both of us are helping Sachi out in our own ways, even if Tomo's not directly involved. I know I can rely on him for this, especially since he has a lot more connections than I do. Akemi and I'll gather any info we hear. Sadakawa doesn't seem to be as violent as she was before, but it doesn't seem like Sachi-chan is asking for help either. Plus, I think Sadakawa's the only one bullying her. One victim and one tormentor. That wouldn't stand out too much. Most of the students outside of their class probably don't know anything about it.
So she hyper-focuses on one person to do this to.
Yeah, I guess.
Just depending on situation, it's gonna be a different person.
And she picks the one person who's very different from everyone else.
So it's massive insecurity is definitely mixed in there somewhere. We just don't know why and what else.
Whatever the other students and teachers think, I doubt they know the whole story. Even if they suspect what's going on, they'll most likely turn a blind eye to it, since no one wants to get involved in that.
It's teacher's job to get involved in that.
So in other words, as it stands, no one's going to lift a finger to help Sachi. Precisely. Well then, if no one else is involved, resolving this shouldn't be too hard. However, the other students think of oh wait, sorry, I thought that was...
Yeah, there's
However,
no
the other students think of Sachi, I'm pretty sure they'll turn a blind eye to you helping her as they have to Sadakawa abusing her. If Sadakawa's the only one bullying her, I think I should be able to get her to stop. That's assuming she doesn't have any friends in on it with her, of course.
She could have a girl squad.
You probably could, but I doubt it'll go smoothly either way.
The only thing there is that if she's got a squad, you'd think that they would have to draw them. They can still kind of get around that. But
are you implying she won't have a squad because nobody wants to draw like an extra 2 characters?
It's possible. It's totally possible.
It's just stick figures following her around.
It's just so-and-so and what's-her-face.
We like to bully now.
One eye dead.
Oh god. Sachi has me and I have you guys. We'll definitely work something out. I hope so. Why is he smiling?
Here she comes. Sorry I'm late, guys.
Akemi calls out as she barges into the room, her loud voice disturbing the calm of the classroom.
I'm starving. Wait, you two haven't eaten yet? Could it be that you were waiting for me?
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Oh, right. I forgot about my lunch.
So you weren't waiting for me then?
Jeez. Oh, what should I do? If I take my time eating now, I won't have time to go see Sachi. Why don't you eat over there? You've become good enough friends with her, right? But Akemi just got here.
I was late today, so don't you worry about it. Just hurry up and introduce me to Sachan already.
Fine, I get it, but thanks for everything, guys.
Everything?
Akemi, who hasn't been a part of the conversation until now, tilts her head in confusion. Yeah, everything. Anyway, I'm going. Oh wait, that's right, it's a transition, I forgot. Dots. Hey.
Oh, Mamoru-senpai, hello.
Since I didn't eat part of my lunch, I'm able to see Sachi a little earlier than last time. As I arrive, I see something unexpected. At first, she's surprised to see me, but her surprise soon becomes joy, as a smile begins to bloom on her face. One eye and her mouth blooms. That's jeez.
I mean, we saw something similar in the other visual.
You know what? That's true. Until now, she's always had a downcast look about her. Does that smile mean she likes hanging out with me? I didn't manage to eat lunch before I came. Do you mind if I eat here?
I don't mind. It's fine.
Why don't you get, like, the keys to the roof so that you guys can actually go up there and eat and not eat in the stairwell?
The stairwell has no seagulls?
I assume the roof wouldn't either, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Once again, I sit down in the same place on the steps. Sachi, where's your lunch?
I already put away my lunchbox.
For some reason, she looks away from me as she replies.
It got stolen.
Lunch break only started a little while ago, so it wouldn't be strange if she was still eating when I got here. But I don't see her lunchbox anywhere. She is, however, holding on to one of the manga I let her borrow, and seems to have been rereading it. I start to feel a little uneasy. Even if she just finished eating, she should still have her lunchbox around, at least. Where's your lunchbox?
Actually, I forgot my lunchbox today.
Ah, now I'm starting to understand. I'm also starting to understand that she's a terrible liar.
You can see it in her eyes.
Jeez. Was it that Sadakawa girl?
Huh? Why?
Bingo! What happened?
Well...
I wait for an answer, but nothing comes. It seems she doesn't want to talk about it. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but you haven't had anything for lunch, right? As I study Sachi's troubled face, I realize she thinks I'm blaming her. That'll make this harder to deal with. I can tell from Sachi's reaction that Sadakawa's name that whatever happened is definitely that girl's fault. Of course, even if she tells me about what happened, it's not like I can do anything about it right now. I should worry about what's going on in front of me.
No, but I'm fine, really. I wasn't that hungry anyway, and I usually don't eat that much in the first place.
That's not really the issue, though. Can't you buy something at the cafeteria? I can lend you some money if you need it.
You don't... It's fine. I'm okay, really.
For once, Sachi actually has some force in her voice.
Oh, I did it wrong.
It's fine. Since she's refusing to let me buy her lunch, she probably won't let me give her part of my own either. But...
Indirect kissing. It's happening.
Alright. Wait, I've got my lunch. Do you want some of that?
No, you really don't have to.
I said it's fine. I don't eat too much either. And besides, sitting here next to you and eating while you watch, that would be really rude, even if you don't want any food yourself. I move next to Sachi and open my lunchbox. For a moment, I worry she'll try to avoid me like she did the first time I sat next to her. But she doesn't do anything like that. She just looks a little uneasy.
Are you sure?
She still seems reluctant, but as she turns to face me, her stomach lets out a pitiful growl.
And she's developed some pink eye.
Yeah, I've noticed. There's plenty of lamb in here if you want it. Oh, good.
What?
Cyclops. No?
They eat lamb? Is that a thing?
That's okay. Fine. In the Odyssey.
Okay.
Wait, maybe that's not the Odyssey. That might be In most of the early stories for Cyclopses, they live on a specific island and they farm sheep.
Okay.
That's like the whole thing that they do.
All
They
right.
just hang out and farm sheep.
Well, these are high
They eat
school
people, too,
These are
so.
high school kids, so his bento's probably full of like hot dog octopus.
Yeah, I was trying to make a really poor joke.
Yeah,
apparently.
it didn't hit with me.
Ah, jeez. I know she's just trying to be polite, but she really can't hide how hungry she is anymore.
Just ignore that.
She hangs her head, ashamed of her rumbling stomach, but she's still not ready to give in.
Oh.
I know she's not going to relent on her own, so I pick up a small piece of fried egg out of my lunchbox with chopsticks and hold it up to her mouth.
You have to eat all the eggs.
God, he's feeding this Cyclops eggs. Come on, you're hungry, right?
Huh? Wait,
Say ah. Sachi looks back and forth between my face and the chopsticks as several seconds pass, but sure enough, she soon surrenders and opens her mouth. That voice and S's don't work too well together when my mouth is really dry.
Oh.
We started this recording and my mouth immediately got like super dry.
Oh.
But I want to see it out to the end.
Okay.
So all noises don't work quite right now.
I shouldn't act that out that
Probably
way.
not. What's up with that swirly egg, by the way? Do you see that?
It's probably like it was fried as like a long thing and then rolled up and then cut.
Oh yeah. Oh that's
I don't
interesting,
know
but
if
that's a
that's
lot
how
of
that
prep.
goes.
There's no reason to do that.
It's a bento.
I know, but
So things are going to be made to be compact, and depending on his parents or the convenience store he got this from, it could have like shapes and characters in it.
I mean, I guess he opens it up and it's just themed around like I don't know Doraemon, or it's just
Yeah, it
got
could
like
be.
characters from like an elementary school, like Power Rangers and that shit. Just
Could
like,
be.
here you go, eat all of these eggs. Just, now read my manga. Like, there. I stuff the piece of egg into her mouth and she starts chewing. Her eye shut tight.
Don't stuff anything. Be gentle. You're using sticks. I'm sorry, I can't convincingly pretend that I'll enjoy
fake
eggs.
Eat eggs, yeah.
Eggs are gross.
Do you like it?
No.
Yeah.
Great. Next, open up.
Oh shit, broccoli.
I present the next bite I've gathered between my chopsticks to her.
Give me that broccoli.
That's enough. I don't want you to have less food because of me.
It's broccoli. I don't want it. It's really no big deal.
Well, no.
No.
As I watch Sachi meekly peck at the ends of my chopsticks, I start to feel like a mother bird feeding its chick or something.
Well, you're not vomiting.
I can't help but think it's a little cute.
That's enough, really.
Open wide.
Hot dog octopus. Come on.
No, it's invisible,
Oh,
that one.
fuck.
He just keeps feeding her and she's like, please stop. I don't want any more. I almost feel like something else is controlling my hand. Not that I'm about to stop.
It turns into one of those Tomodachi Life mini games with the Hans hand.
Yeah.
You could at least let me eat bite.
No.
Please let me feed myself. And he's like, no, keep eating the rice. I'm sure this is embarrassing for her. As I keep making her eat, I notice that her cheeks get redder and redder. She's so damn cute.
I've already eaten half of your lunch. The rest is yours.
Eat.
And then she takes a pair of chopsticks and it turns into a fight.
She finally says, staring down at her hands. Sure enough, only half of my lunch is left. I suppose so. You're sure you don't want any more?
Just eat your lunch.
Sachi turns her flushed face away from me. Maybe I overdid it. Sorry, I think I got carried away.
No, it's alright. I was happy that you fed me some of your lunch. I mean, not literally fed me. Don't do that. I mean, I was happy you shared your lunch with me.
It's okay, I understand. I wasn't trying to be mean or anything.
I know. Anyway, thank you very much.
I guess the Cyclops, it would make sense, wouldn't like it if you were, like, brandishing sticks right next to their eyes. Like,
I wouldn't.
Maybe-
I have
maybe-
2 of these.
maybe feeding a Cyclops with chopsticks is a bad idea. I don't know.
Maybe.
Of course, no problem. I suppose I'll clean up the rest. Huh? As I'm about to start on what's left of my lunchbox, Sachi stares at the chopsticks.
It's your turn.
Oh, I should have realized sooner, but the chopsticks I'm about to eat with are the same ones I had been using just a moment ago to put food directly into her mouth.
Indirect kissing.
Sorry, I forgot. That would have been kind of weird, right?
No, I don't really mind. You're the one getting diseases. But if you think it's gross, it might be best to wash them. Don't worry about me, though.
He doesn't wash them and then wakes up the next day with one eye.
No, I don't really care either, actually. If you're okay with me using them, I'm gonna go ahead and eat.
Sure.
This has gotten a little awkward. I eat my food and try not to think about it too much.
How much spit can you even get on chopsticks?
I don't know.
I mean, he was awkwardly feeding to her, so she may have, like, gotten it in, like, a pocket of her cheek or something.
I think every time I've eaten with chopsticks, they barely touch my mouth. Like,
yeah.
to be real.
Yeah.
Even though I'm trying to focus on eating, I keep catching myself stealing glances at Sachi out of the corner of my eye. Sachi opens one of the manga as if to read it, but I notice that for some reason her eye stays fixed on me as I eat my lunch. Whenever I look over at her, our eyes meet. Her cheeks are still red, and she's still embarrassed about... Is she still embarrassed about me feeding her, or is there another reason? Either way, it's getting really hard to focus on eating. Okay, I'm done. As if on cue, the bell rings. Marching to the end of lunchtime.
Why did you do such a metal voice?
I don't know. Marking the end of lunchtime. It's the one voice I haven't used for this yet.
Marching to the end of lunchtime. Dinner death.
Go ahead and... Oh wait, this is me.
You.
Already, huh? I guess we did take a little while to eat.
I guess so. Oh, let me give you back the manga I borrowed. I brought all the ones I finished.
Oh, cool. I'll pick up the next ones out of the series for when I see you again.
Didn't you give her, like, the full stack, dude?
I don't know.
Maybe it was, like, the first book of, like, 20 series.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you.
I gather up all my empty lunchbox and the manga and start heading down the stairs to my classroom as Sachi follows me. Hey, why don't we walk home together again after school? If it's not too much trouble for you, I mean. It's nice to have a friend who lives nearby.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Her face lightens up with genuine excitement, even though we've only known each other for about a week. I don't know how we ended up doing things like going to and from school and eating lunch together, but if it makes her happy, why should I care how it happened? Most of all, being together makes her happy. Then I'm happy too. If being together makes her happy. Sorry. It was a statement. Being together makes her happy.
Most of all, I've improved her life, so I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
You'd think that a teacher would notice how ripped up her uniform is and at least provide one that isn't?
You'd think so.
I know, there's a lot of things that always bug me about the complete absence of authority figures in these, which I guess is just how it goes.
Yeah, it's part of usually the setup of these sorts of games exists in such a way that if teachers did exist, if authority figures could step in, then it would completely ruin the plot of the game.
Yeah, I get it.
It's kind of like cell phone in a horror movie. It's like, if you had a cell phone, you could fix the problem.
The desks on the far left are slightly taller than all the others.
We never really have to see these ever.
Okay.
School is almost over. As I return to my classroom after lunch, I realize something. I'm happy that we promised to go home together, but we never chose a place to meet before we parted ways. If I wait by the gates like last time, she'll maybe come by, but Sadakawa might also be around. Maybe I should take a peek into their classroom instead. And as I'm trying to decide, the bell rings, finally signaling the end of the day's classes. I take my bag and hurry towards Sachi's classroom. I rush down the stairs, but as I reach the first floor, I can see the first years are already filing out into the hall. Then I quicken my pace towards her classroom. In the moment I step in front of one of the classroom doors, someone flies out into me. The impact knocks us both off balance, and just as she's about to go down, I reflectively reach out and catch her. Everything okay?
She got, like, fucking punched out of the classroom.
Something like that.
Excuse me. Senpai?
The student who just flew into my arms, and who I'm now holding onto tightly, is none other than Sachi. We stare at each other in astonishment. Then I see another student behind her, who's also looking on in astonishment. Sadakawa Rui. Did she just push Sachi out the door? I know. Now I know she's the reason Sachi had no lunch today. Sadakawa's surprised expression soon turns angry. She glares at me menacingly as she starts to speak.
Oh boy, I got another voice.
Who the hell are you? Some upperclassman?
Wow, she looks,
She got fangs.
She's angry on a very interesting level. The way her mouth is structured on this face doesn't quite work the way it probably should.
Are you a vampire?
Maybe.
Or a werewolf?
She's got a little bit of like a Sonic mouth. I think. Maybe I'm seeing. You see, the big issue with this.
Nose shading indicates that her mouth is at an angle where this kind of makes sense.
The big issue with this is that we're far enough away from the TV that I can't see like tiny details because my vision's so poor. So if I was up and I was closer, I might be able to see it. It might look way better. So if I ever say anything that doesn't make any sense, you're gonna have to let me know.
I'm gonna leave that one be.
When it comes to this. Also, is it just my imagination, or is it that the floor next to her leg on the right-hand side has some color to it, or are her colors bleeding out beyond her lines?
I think her color is bleeding slightly.
Huh.
But none of these are... I think the looseness is part of the charm of the style.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that. I'm just like, I didn't quite notice that the first time, and now I'm wondering if that's like exactly what that is. Yeah, second year. But she doesn't let this get in the way of her anger.
Oh, really? Then what are you doing on the first year floor?
I'm not going to be able to keep this
up.
I
came to see Sachi. For a moment, Sadakawa looks surprised again as she sizes the two of us up. Sachi regains her balance as she separates herself from me. Then she takes a step back, retreating from Sadakawa's presence. She's not trying to run away, though. Is it because I'm here? Her eye darts back and forth nervously.
Are you starting a freak show, senpai?
Oof. If you think it's okay to force your friends into freak shows, you're pretty messed up. That's really pitiful. This girl's more prickly than I imagined. Naturally, my insult just annoys her more. I'm not sure if that actually got to her or not, but she pins a hostile glare at me.
Oh, yes. Well, excuse me. She really doesn't...
I'm already fucking up the voice.
Pick a different voice, because I knew from the moment you started that you can't do that voice.
She really doesn't have any talents to display, and dressing her up as a clown would only disgust people. Of course, you are right.
The insincere, polite words that Sadakawa spits at me are dripping with venom and malice. If this is what made Akemi snap, I don't blame her. She just seems annoying more than maybe that's just me.
I don't know. It could just be written weird.
I don't know. I think she's more suited to the role of a heroine than a clown.
Not really. She's terrified right now.
Her, at best, this one-eyed thing that looks like it stepped out of a fairy tale will become some wretched beggar on the streets. Who talks like this?
Somebody with too much time who's rehearsed this conversation in their head.
God, that is it.
Yeah, maybe she did step out of a fairy tale. If I had to guess, I'd say it was Cinderella. She's definitely plagued by something like an evil stepsister. You know that story, don't you?
So, I don't think Japan is so different from America that this is even slightly plausible. If you're slinging insults back and forth with an underclassman girl, it's like, no, this is not the way this is going.
No, this isn't how this would work.
It would be much dirtier.
It would be a lot more intense, I think.
If nothing else, she'd get called a immediately.
Maybe. I don't know.
High school girls, man.
Oof.
Oh, that's a good joke, but if you're casting parts, I think I'd rather be the fairy godmother who turns the pumpkin into a carriage, making Cinderella get run over by her carriage. Would be a pretty neat twist, don't you think? I just keep talking.
No, that's not great. That's honestly not a great line. Our verbal duel continues for a while.
It's so
this doesn't seem like a
bad.
duel. This just seems like are you verbally dumping trash on each other? Like,
No, that would look cooler than this.
She's wearing a vicious grin on her face, but the fire in her eyes grows hotter and hotter, and I can feel the heat in her stare. I refuse to look away, however, and it feels like the friction of our clashing gazes might set the whole hallway ablaze.
Senpai.
Sachi tugs on my sleeve, pulling me back to reality. Oops, there goes gravity. Several students seem to have gathered around us to watch our fight.
You lost yourself in the movement, the moments.
Yeah.
I don't know the words.
Don't worry.
Mom spaghetti, there we go.
Mom spaghetti. Here I am, a lone second-year student in front of the first-year classrooms, completely out of place.
Palms are sweaty.
Yeah. I should not be drawing this much attention to myself. Sorry, let's go, Sachi. I take Sachi's hand and turn my back on Sadakawa.
Yeah.
I'm still pissed and I want to turn around and go after her again, but Sadakawa stays quiet.
She's going to try her absolute darndest to either literally murder you or seduce you.
Nah.
One before the other.
I think she's just going to be harder on Sachi, and it's ultimately going to be this character's fault.
Yeah.
Sorry about that just now. I really made a fool of myself. We leave the school at a hurried pace, but once we're outside of the gates and start heading home, we slow down a bit.
No, it's okay. You caught me right when I fell and you protected me from Sadakawa-san. Thank you for that.
It's probably none of my business, but if you're having trouble and you need help, you can ask me anytime.
Thank you.
Sachi replies after a short pause, looking somewhat puzzled. We might have become friends, but I guess we're not close enough for her to be comfortable trusting me with that sort of thing yet.
He needs to get it like a big leather jacket with like security written on the back and just sort of hang out in her classroom.
You know, anything you need. I just want to help.
Okay.
By the way, if you like the books I gave you, I have some more from that author.
Oh, really?
I changed the subject to a lighter topic. Going home together should be more fun than this. At the very least, I want to see her smile more while we're together. I think those are the ones I should lend you next. Do you want to read them?
Take her back to your house to get the books.
Sure, that sounds great. I'll look forward to it.
Well, she's still got to finish the other half of the manga that he lent her.
Yeah. And the whole omnibus.
Duh!
Oh. It almost does look like a mini game. I
Feeding eggs!
fully expected a quick time event there.
Nah.
Press X.
Press
to,
X to do
eat.
like a backwards jump off of the gravity witch time and feed a Cyclops some eggs.
Right?
About 2 weeks have passed. Wow, we are just fucking just driving along here.
Are we plowing to the end, by the way?
Maybe not tonight. But
Okay.
About 2 weeks have passed. I've met Sachi for lunch on the stairway that leads up to the roof every day, and she's gone through countless manga and novels.
What about the weekends?
We've also gone to and from school together when we could.
No weekend meetups yet?
Apparently not. Sachi hasn't even asked for help since the day I offered it to her, but even still, every now and then I go around to her classroom to meet her. Of course, I try not to draw attention to myself anymore, and just go to retrieve Sachi as quickly as I can. Even though Sachi's free from Sadakawa, I think she's still worried about being bullied.
I really
She's
hope-
free from Sadakawa?
Well, apparently in the last 2 weeks nothing's happened that he's aware of.
Oh, okay.
But I really hope that when we get her on screen again, she's not injured.
Bandaged?
Yeah.
There's no especially noticeable change, but Sachi's smile doesn't seem faked like it did before. Little by little, smiling is becoming more natural for her.